Yeah, that was what I was told. How's it going, guys? My name is Nathaniel, joining on the side as the co-caster for today. So, looking forward to this game that we have going on here. Pretty much looking like standard starts all the way around, except for a Rammus jungle. That's kind of interesting. That was, Shook. Yeah. I don't understand why, because it was like, the reason he played Rammus was because Lee Sin was banned, so instead of giving them Rammus, he gave them Lee Sin, and we all saw how well that worked out for them. As I'm looking around, actually, there's a ton of interesting picks, as a matter of fact. We got a Hecarim in here, we got a Mordekaiser in here, Malzahar in the mid lane, as well as a Garen top. Whoa, wait a minute, the gank out of the bot lane, Hecarim going straight in, did not actually get anything, had to, I believe, blow the flash and exhaust of Kalan Kadamas, I believe that is. Alright, so good gank, got two summoners down, looking like he might come around for a second gank, or maybe just back right there. Just depends on what goes down in a few moments. That's alright, I already had to move mine all the way around and get it set up as well, so it's a bit... And Nami is definitely going to be going down here. The heal! The first blood does come out, though, from Lucian. Even though that heal was burned, it was a very good attempt, but the Lucian brought him down. Unfortunate for the red side. Good gank by Hecarim, and a great binding from Morgana. Absolutely, and I kind of feel like that was, two successful ganks back to back. Blow the summoners the first time, come back, get the kill. A very successful, repeated gank. Yeah, that's a good, probably about a 4.5 minute window before any summoners come back in that, or any flashes, per se, could come back into that mid lane. Exhaust will be up, of course, before that point. But until then, they don't have any escapes. Yeah, Malzahar is a great pick up against Mordekaiser, because while Mordekaiser does farm exceptionally well, Malzahar pretty much farms just as well from a safer distance. Just throw that Malefic Visions onto a minion, keep clearing it off, popping it onto another channel, get the more mana back every time it goes to somebody, and just stay way back, stay way safe, and continue to farm up like nothing's ever happened. Ooh, wait a minute, a gank up at the top, Mama's flashes over to get the taunt. Exact precision on that. Onar is probably going down here. Wait, does not have level 5. Alright, I'm Sakid, Ramos goes under the tower, picks that kill up. A great flash from Ramos to get back in front of Gnar to really stop him from getting away. Even forced Gnar himself to flash, and still got that taunt, still got that kill down. However, he's going to be able to teleport back to lane if he wants to. So a good gank, a good answer to the Hecarim putting so much pressure in bot lane. He's gonna go top and say, fine, you can get kills there, I'll get kills down here. As we see a binding landing onto Tristana, a ton of damage comes out of Lucian, put back onto Trist, and really he is really low, and I don't think he has the sustain to really just stay there. He does pop a couple of pots, and he does have a Nami as well.
I don't...
Okay, maybe I underestimated the Nami sustain.
I gotta wonder why Tristana has mana pots in this lane. To what purpose? I also want to apologize to anybody who's watching the stream right now. I did have my own microphone muted on the streamcast, so my co-caster could hear me, and you guys could not. That's my bad.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, so now that we have you back, and we have everybody all set
Oh, Rammus in the mid lane on Mordekaiser.
Rammus getting that taunt down, getting that stun up. The silence goes out. He does land it, and that will be a kill onto Malzahar. And honestly, he's not played much, but a fed Malzahar is a really scary thing. A good lockdown, a good silence, and a ton of percentage life damage.
And it looks like he's going to rush for that Haunting Guise. I see this happen a lot from Mordekaisers, and I don't necessarily agree with it. Or sorry, from Malzahar's. I don't think it's the best choice. I mean, if you go just for Haunting Guise and stop, fine. But I see a lot of Malzahars go for it, and Ramison is just non-stop.
He's just running back down here. Get that powerball going, and he does not actually manage to make up the speed for it. But that's something I hadn't thought about, is Nami having that additional speed boost on top of Moby's.
Oh, Garen going hard on Gnar here. He's probably going to get the ultimate down. Doesn't have... Oh, come on!
So
1Q! There it is. He finishes it off.
For Demacia Injustice. Down goes Gnar. Wait a minute. Hikarim coming up here. Pony says, I want some too. Oh, the flash over the knockback. As a matter of fact, knocks him further away towards that tower.
Smart move by Garen.
Knowing when that needed to happen.
Smooth mechanics.
Absolutely.
And this is an issue. Tristana is getting bullied by... Oh, the good play. You're not level 6, Trist.
Out, exhaust goes down. Trist, you need to be a little more safe than that. Can't be eating all these bindings, bruh.
If Trist had level 6 right there, Lucian was dead.
Absolutely.
Just straight up dead.
100% he was gone. The damage coming out of Tristana is so ridiculous once she hits that level 6, which she has now acquired. She does have that buster shot now, so that'll be very interesting to see what happens next time a bind lands.
I don't think they even need to wait for a bind. If Nami gets a bubble, he's dead. Oh, and Hekarim's in the mid lane.
Trying to get back on top of Malzahar, trying to get that.
Oh, and Rammus with the counter gank. They're going to go hard onto him. Good ultimate.
Suppress goes down. Hekarim is exceptionally low. Malefic Vision is going to take him down. Down he goes. Down Rammus goes as well.
He's got a Rammus Ghost.
They're trying to dive in, but wait a minute. The tower is going to switch onto him. And
oh, this rotation.
Is rotated around. Nami going out.
Oh.
The bubble does not land. The slow comes across. It's not quite enough. Malzahar, or Morgana, Malzahar, Mordekaiser, that one is going to be making it out of here safe and sound as a large minion wave does come into the tower. Morgana did rotate around, so that is, whoa, wait a minute, the binding lands onto him. Mordekaiser,
oh no.
The soul shackle does not actually proc.
He's so dead.
The damage coming out from that pool. Tristana is around onto the Malzahar. God, so many M's. Morgana comes out. The binding does not land. Rama's trying to make something happen again. Mordekaiser is still alive. Now has that double buff.
And they lose the bot turret.
The bot lane. Man, so much action going across the map here.
That loss on the bot turret is a huge downer for them. Transferring to mid lane, they didn't pick up any kills at all. And they got nothing out of it. They did that whole transfer to mid lane and they gained nothing for it.
Actually, the fight lasted so long that Hekarim died in the start and had enough time to come back from death and go all the way back into that fight.
Yeah.
That was just an incredibly extended fight.
Well, we do have, everybody has hit level 6, so everybody has their ultimates on the map, and that's, well, except Nami. Did Nami not put a point? Oh, there she goes. There, she did it now. Okay. I was so confused.
I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally leveled an additional Q, W, or E before getting my
Oh god, yeah.
Oh wait, I need to spam this button.
Rammus.
Rammus trying to get on the Gnar, but Gnar says Gada and gets all away.
I don't know any Gnar quotes except Demaglio. Like, that's it. That's all I've got for Gnar.
Demaglio and Gnar Gada is like all he does. That's it. Wait a minute, Gnar trying to run around. Alright,
do you think
he is gonna get away.
Do you think Gnar got picked before Garen? Or the other way around?
I kinda think so.
Oh, Lucian with the flash, just premature. jump
Wait a
out.
minute,
Oh,
open his mid lane again. Malzahar trying to take on everybody on that team.
he does get him.
Get Mordekaiser down. And is he going to make it out? No, not quite. The Mort binding hits him. It gives it just enough damage for that Mordekaiser ulti to bring him down. Unfortunately, he is dead, so there is no more Malzahar ghost.
Well, I was going to say before, I think it's pretty funny if they picked Garen and Gnar got picked second just to taunt him.
Demoglio! Demoglio! Demoglio!
It'd be horrendous. I would just mute him immediately.
He's like, no, we're not doing any of this. I'm done.
Yep,
Today.
pretty much.
I do have to wonder what he's leveling first and foremost. Looks to be that Q is up to level 4 and the Hyper, or the W, is up to level 3. So it looks like those are going to be his main two. As he does trade really well in this top lane. Does have that access to the Gnar ability now, so he slams him up against the wall and puts a ton of damage down on Garen. But these new changes to Garen says, I'm just going to refresh all of that life back, because I have
And here's the thing,
amounts of regeneration.
when Gnar is in Mega Gnar form, Garen actually does better, because now he doesn't get harassed whenever he wants to farm.
Right. That is one thing I've noticed about a lot of Gnar players, is that once you go into Mega Gnar, the lane gets 1,000 times easier. Because yeah, there are some stuns that you gotta worry about, but you're not taking a boomerang to the face every time you step up for a CS. So that's the time you really gotta try and capitalize on to get your CS and then get out safely. As you see, might be a fight in the bot lane. No, not
Ward
quite.
war.
Yeah, Ward war, and that's about it. Both pink wards do actually go down. And wait a minute. Okay, yeah, a lot of attempted fights going on, but Garen just cannot close the distance on Gnar with him just like hopping away every time.
This has been a pretty, like, I don't know, action-packed is the way to put it. A lot of roaming from the supports here. Nami and Morgana both taking turns going around to the different parts of the map.
Yeah, it's very well played. A lot of team coordination going into this match specifically. Much more than I've seen in some of the other matches that I've casted today. Now, it kind of makes me happy to see that there are some teams in here who are like, okay, let's do this. So we do see an attempt from the blue side onto this dragon. It is warded, and red seems to be collapsing on it, but I'm not particularly sure how well they can challenge for it, especially with Nami going so low from Lucian.
Oh, Malzahar got bound.
Teleport coming into the top lane. Hikaru's ulti only goes on to Malzahar. Malzahar goes straight down. Brava's in the middle of him, letting that ulti pop on him. He did stop for a second.
Oh, and the fail flash.
I have to wonder why he stopped for that moment. And now Tristana brings down Lucian, pops over the wall into safety, but all in all, it's a 1-for-2, and a dragon goes over to the blue side. They're coming out much better in that situation.
Yeah, that was a great play from, I'm completely blanking, Fatty and Friends? Fatty and Friends. Yeah, they're doing a much better job just being able to avoid I mean, they locked down Malzahar. That was sort of a big key for them, because then they could just, you know, drop everything on him and kill him. Because he didn't get more than like a second of his ultimate off. And that's kind of where Malzahar's damage comes from, is just being able to lock someone up on top of the pool. He didn't get that chance. He just died.
Yeah, that's pretty much all he did. As a matter of fact, he's rushing into, not Leandri's as you thought, but instead a Rod of Ages first item for this
I like
Malzahar
that.
here.
That's a better choice.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, there's for a mid laner who's not a burst champion, there's almost no better item than Rod of Ages. And as we see a good fight going up here in the top lane, Gnar trying to really take it to Garen and really pops a lot of his HP down. That hyper proc doing a ton of percent health damage every third shot. He's kind of like a Vayne, just without true damage.
God, if Gnar's hyper proc was true damage, I think that he'd be broken. So broken.
No, I'm not playing this game.
Vayne is infuriating enough when you build armor and she just doesn't care, but oh man, no.
Top laner with a true damage proc. Nah, I'm good. We've already got Olaf, we don't need another.
Pretty much.
That would be horrifying if every third proc of hyper was a proc onto true damage, especially since everything he does puts a stack on you. So he can auto attack, boomerang, jump on top of you. There's a proc. Auto attack, auto attack, auto attack. There's another proc. And if he's in close range to you, there's really no way to get away from him. I mean, he's got his slow, he's got his jump, he's got so many ways to just gap close back on top of you that if that was a true damage proc, I would just cry. He would be on my top, like, 5 ban list.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if this, and this aren't banned, he needs to be.
This vision control has been pretty solid so far from Fatty and friends, but El Yolo coming in here trying to clear it out. Both teams starting to prepare, I think. I mean, I don't know what the timer is on this dragon. I don't think that it's just everybody's sort of grouped up like it's going to be dragon time, and I'm just like, I don't think dragon's starting yet.
Yeah, dragon's not back up for another 2.5 minutes. Like, why are we all grouped around dragon right now? I'm confused. I mean, if this was Baron side, maybe, but like,
yeah, maybe.
Let's fighting over an empty pit.
El Yolo is, they're a little bit behind. They're 3K, almost 3K behind, and that is mostly in the bottom lane, I think. That's where it seems to be, is that Trist has only got the 1 kill, Lucian's got the 2 extra assists. What did I say, 3K? No, there's no way there's that much of a difference, but it's kind of spread out. Hacker's been doing a fair bit of work for his team. He's got the, and they get the ultimate flash.
Flashes to get that ulti down. Unfortunately, he is not on the pool, so he's not going to take as much damage as he should have.
Oh, Garen's flanking. Garen's flanking. Yeah. He's got the silence onto Gnar here. This is perfect. The taunt from Rammus is beautiful.
Rather, Gnar should be going down to this. The Molecular Visions is going to be almost enough to take him down, but instead Tristana picks up that kill. So it is a good pick off started by Malzahar.
And that's who they want the kill to be on. Tristana needs that extra gold.
Absolutely. To force her through that, like, unbearable mid-game. Wait a minute. Okay, Karm trying to get something started, just not quite sticky enough to make it happen. But that binding is going to be sticky enough as the bubble goes out. Lands on Delusion. Soul Shackle comes down onto Nami, flashes away, but is not going to be able to break the Soul Shackle. It will go down to Karm's. Also comes out, knocks her back away. And that will be a kill in response from Fatty and friends. Well done.
That was just a big, I don't know, that was a big kerfuffle of ultimates. Like, we saw Tristana ultimate go out, Hecarim ultimate go out, Morgana ultimate go out, like, everybody. Lucian, I think, did too.
His ult is on cooldown, so it seems to be, yeah. The Culling went out, Soul Shackle went out, I'm not particularly sure what that is. Onslaught of Shadows went out. Everybody said Nami must die, and so she did.
And so it shall be.
Yeah, so it is written, so it shall be. Ultis were cast for this, the Nami must die.
Tristana desperately needs to get to that next tier of items. She's only got the Infinity Edge, and that's not a, I mean, it's a great item, but it's not enough to keep up with Lucian, who is now sitting on a Bloodthirster and a BF sword.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder what that second BF sword is going to be going into, whether he's just going BF into...
It's got to be Infinity Edge. He's got to want to go for it. I don't understand why he wouldn't go for a utility item in between. Trinity Force, even Last Whisper.
That's something that I saw in my last game, was a Jinx, as a matter of fact, went like Infinity into Bloodthirster into Last Whisper and then bought some attack speed. Honestly, I feel like you need to prioritize attack speed a little bit higher than that. Just make one attack speed item your second item. Just Infinity Edge into Phantom Dancer, or Infinity Edge into Static Shiv, and then build additional damage on top of that, so that you're not just sitting there like, bow, there was a heavy hit. Tick.
However, of these 3 champions, Tristana, Jinx, and Lucian, they are all probably the 3 best to not build attack speed on. Because Tristana has her Q to give her a huge attack speed buff. Jinx has her Q's passive. And Lucian doesn't really need attack speed to use his light slinger effectively.
It's all very true. It's still a really good thing to have just for the sustained portion of it. But wait a minute, the fight breaking out. Garen is in the middle of everybody. Rama's trying to get in, does get into the middle of them. He is trying to get on Delusion, tried to taunt Mordekaiser, but he had that Black Shield on in time. Soul Shackles is on 3 members. It is only at a proc on to 2. Garen making it out far enough away. 2 kills have gone down. Garen trying to push in onto Icarm. He's going to have to ult away from everything, and that will be a 2-for-0, as well as possibly this dragon going in the way of El Yolo here.
I feel like that was just bad coordination from both teams. It was a really messy team fight. You didn't see the Nami tidal wave go out when they were all lined up in the river. You only saw it go out when it hit 3 people, 2 people. So you could have hit all 5. And, I mean, is Mal, like, I don't know, just overall it felt kind of messy, felt very scattered and, like, half-coordinated. Maybe that's how El Yolo wanted it, but either way, they come out of it with a dragon, and they've evened up the gold lead. They're going to take this turret, and that'll put them ahead by a little bit.
Yeah, by a small margin, nothing too much. As we do see Tristana having to jump out to get away from the Lucian. And you're very right, that fight was very chaotic, and I kind of feel like what really made it that way was both of their initiators tried to dive all the way to Lucian and kind of left their backline alone.
Right.
While Lucian was just like, I'm just going to peel back and peel back and peel back and peel back. And by the time that Garen and Ramos finally decided to change targets, Mordecai already had the black shield on him and couldn't be CC'd.
Right.
So,
I feel like Rammus could have just gone straight for that Mordekaiser instead of trying to... Whoa!
Whoa, wait a minute. Psych out here getting jumped on by Mordekaiser. Ignite and ulti going down.
He might go down anyways.
Saying that. So he's not going to go down from that.
Mordekaiser just doesn't have the burst yet. This is where I believe that Mordekaiser's choice of first item was a mistake. Wrath of the Ancients, Will of the Ancients, is just not. It's not a strong item. Like, it doesn't give you the burst that Mordekaiser wants. Get a Deathfire Grasp. Of all items, get a Deathfire Grasp. You hit them with the DFG, you throw the ultimate, the cone, and you can blow somebody up. There shouldn't be much left of them after that.
Oh, absolutely, especially with Mordekaiser having that ignite on him as well. That is nothing but strict single target damage. So what you want to do is blow up a single target. And a catch like that onto Tristana in the jungle with nobody else around him, that would have been a golden opportunity had he had that DFG. He probably could have just, like you said, he probably might not have even had to blow his ignite. Just spat, bat, bap. Tristana goes down. Now you've got 6 members to siege that turret with, and what are they gonna do to stop you? Like, if you can steal a Tristana ghost,
you take the turret. That's
great,
turret
yeah.
right there.
Like, there goes 90% of their range, and you just gained all of that extra damage. Like, I know people always talk about how, like, your minion wave is a 6th member if you can use the map right. Tristana would be a literal 6th member that you don't even need to use right. You just throw her in the front, you're just like, yeah, shoot that. And it goes down. That's about all that would be needed.
And that's really what they got to go for. They got to... Oh, good flash!
Flash onto him, but he is going to get black shielded and having to ult away, so no taunt going to be able to come off of that. But a flash burned off of Ramos as well as an ulti burned off of
Oh, they're getting pincered. It's 4v4 here.
Wait a minute, Nara's in the middle of everybody. Does get taunted up. Is getting Malzahar ulti down. So that will be the end of Nara there.
They picked that fight without Mordekaiser, and I just don't think they have the superior teamfight comp. Garen and Rammus on the front line are just really, really tough, really tanky, hard to kill, and Malzahar and Tristana and Nami all just get to sit in the back and do what they do best. Oh, this Malz.
No, nothing's going to happen out of that. Just a good little catch off Morgana picking up some gold. And apart from that, nothing to... Whoa, wait a minute, Garen, how's it going, bro? Diving under that tower or something there? So, honestly, yeah, you're saying, you know, they don't have the best team.
Whoa, look at the damage onto Lucian.
Tristana was a little bit caught out in that front line, dude. You are a ranged champion. Please use the range.
I think that was intentional. She did tons of damage to Lucian there. She out-traded him badly, and that was with a black shield. He would have been knocked back, but it prevented the knockback from her buster shot. I think Tristana has gotten to the point where Lucian can't 1v1 her anymore. He doesn't have a finished Trinity Force. He doesn't have a finished Infinity Edge. Bloodthirster is only good in a fight where sustain matters, and when Tristana can blow you up in 4 or 5 hits, it doesn't matter how much sustain you have.
Absolutely. If there's enough burst damage to take you out to start with, then your Bloodthirster really isn't going to help you that much, and that's why it's really not like a first item it's really not a first item priority.
We got another pause.
Coming out here from the red side, El Yolo says Luke is lagging. I'm not particularly sure who Luke is, but okay.
Somebody's
So,
lagging.
there is a man lagging. Oh, the shots fired. Is that his excuse for getting binded all game? So I'm assuming that's going to be the Tristana there. That's like shots fired, a little bit of disrespect going on there. It's always fun to see people, you know, trash talking each other. Anyway, that's why, you know, what I was saying earlier was that, you know, Bloodthirster is really not a first item priority. I mean, you get a ton of lifesteal, yeah, but lifesteal is based on how much damage you deal. And if you don't have the damage to make the lifesteal worth it, then why do you have the lifesteal in the first place?
Yeah, and I guess it's Tristana, who could just cut your healing anyways.
Exactly. So you've got a heal item that is based off the amount of damage you deal, and then Tristana is just going to be like, oh look, I pop my explosive shot on you and reduce your healing even further. So that already insignificant amount of healing you were getting from the minor damage you were dealing gets cut in half. So Bloodthirster, I really don't agree with that as a first item. However, he does finally pick up his Infinity Edge on the side of that. It looks like Tristana's going back to finish an item of her own. Might be Static Shiv, yeah. Static Shiv has come in for Tristana, so maybe now some 2v or some 1v1 might stay relevant.
I think she can do it. I mean, I feel like at this point Tristana is the scarier AD carry. However, if Lucian were to get within range of her before she could poke him at all, he would probably win that just based on his passive.
Yeah, probably so. We do see a dragon.
Oh, they want this dragon. They are going to get it.
Alright, dragon does go down for red side. Can they pull away without getting a fight? The tidal wave does go down. It goes across.
Only hits Mordekaiser.
But wait a minute, Nar's going straight to the middle of him. He does not have Mega Nar. He's going to go down immediately.
Oh no, Tristana! The Tristana Ghost!
You have the Ghost. Tristana's doing a ton of damage over to Malzahar. Look at the crits coming out. And Lucian trying to do the damage. Mordekaiser finally goes down, which does bring down the Tristana Ghost. Lucian up in the front line, throwing that Light Slinger passive out, brings down Malzahar, and now Garen to the back line, but he's got a pretty good amount of health for where he's at now. Nami trying to heal him to get the run up. Bubble does not land onto anything. Hikarum does bring down Garen. I'm sorry, Lucian brings down Garen. Hikarum does get the assist onto that. All in all, 3-4-3 out of that fight, and Tristana really was kind of out of position for that one. She's got more range. She did not need to be in that position where she could get
I'm pretty sure Rammus went down in that fight. I'm pretty sure that was a 3-for-4. I think Nami was the only one to survive that.
It was a 3-for-3 because Nami... wait, no, yeah. Garen did go down at the very end. What? Yeah, 3-for-4. 3-for-4, definitely.
But they got the dragon, so worth it.
Yeah, right. Just gotta go call worth in the end, because technically that would make it a dragon for 1 if you wanted to balance it all out. So yeah, worth.
Worth. If you say it, it is.
Absolutely, that's how the rule works. So long as you're the first one to call it, it's always worth. Alright.
I'm kind of intrigued what this Morgana's going to build next. She has an Amplifying Tomb. She could go for the Zonias, or she could go for Twin Shadows to allow her team to catch a little bit more.
That is very true, though I think it will be the Zonias, just so she can be, you know, a little more into that diving in ultimate. So, especially since Gnar, we saw there, right? You know, Gnar is kind of their main tank right now, but he needs to have his Mega Gnar form. And if Morgana has her Zonias, she can get into the middle of people, pop her Soul Shackles, force them to kind of like spread around or eat the stuns, which will give Gnar more time to build up his Rage Bar to become Mega Gnar. But wait a minute, Morgana getting a little bit of caught out here. The binding goes down onto Nami, the taunt goes down.
Whoa! Blows her up.
The amount of crit damage Tristana just did. I think it was like 1 auto for like 600 damage.
That's a lot for sure.
Absolutely, especially at this level. She just shot Morgana straight in the face, threw that cannonball out, and was like, hi, have a Static Shiv proc crit. That was kind of scary.
And they are going to take the turret. This is where they shoving bot, and with Garen up top, Gnar I don't think can really fight Garen, seeing as he doesn't really have a ton of damage. Look at this, just gets right up on his face, doesn't care. Oh, Remus.
Wait a minute, down to the bot lane.
He's
Tidal
so dead.
Out on solution. There is no way he's getting out of that. Tidal wave.
Oh, Malzahar.
Whoa, Malzahar, buddy. You were in kind of a bad place. What? Teleport onto the minion? How's it going, Garen? Alright, so, Onslaught of Shadows did not actually land on anybody, and now Garen just, like, walks right through that tower. Like,
Tristana
hey,
needs to be auto-hitting. She has the ability to do so. She's ridiculously outranging the enemy team here. There's no Mordekaiser Ghost either.
Absolutely, there is no ultimates coming out of the other side. All they have left is the bindings, and be that as it may, they have to give this tower up because they just cannot fight with this Tristana walking back, kiting back, blowing them all up.
I feel like they could have kept pushing. I mean,
probably could have.
Garen still had health, Remus still had health, Tristana was still okay. They didn't have their disengage ultimates per se, but they still had Buster Shot, so I feel like they could have kept pushing.
Oh, without a doubt, they definitely could have kept pushing. Probably should have, especially with, you know, the amount of health that Garen is going to naturally regen from being out of combat. I believe he's got his 2% total health now. No, that's till 16. Is he 16? I think he's 16. No, he's only 15 right now.
Malzahar almost died to the blue buff.
Ooh. Well, that's not good. But you know what? He got it, so negligible. On the flip side, though, Gnar almost died to the white.
Yeah,
Jungle
wow.
Camp's OP. Jungle Camp's OP all day. All right.
I would like to see Gnar pick up a Blade of the Ruined King here. I feel like he kind of needs it. They just don't have a lot of damage right now, and even if Gnar gets up in the front, he's still going to get blown up. I feel like he should maximize his damage while he can.
Yeah, he should be getting a Blade of the Ruined King rather soon. Binding does land onto Ramos, but there is going to be no follow-up for that. Just a random binding trying to defend her ward, and not going to get much out of that little bit of extra gold. But as you were saying, yeah, he does need that Blade of the Ruined King, especially since it's going to help him get out more hyper procs and get into his rage form sooner.
Yeah, and so right now, this is going to be the fight for Baron Vision. And Malzahar does really, really well with this because he has such good zoning spells, the silence, the pool. And I really don't know if Fatty and Friends can defend another full team fight. They just don't seem to have the kind of team fight that El Yolo does right now, especially with Tristana hitting that spike. She has another BF sword and a pickaxe, so we're probably going to see Bloodthirster and Last Whisper come out from her next. And she's 4-1-5. She's been using that champion pretty effectively. I feel like they need to just pick a team fight and go. 5-on-5. Go, go, go. Do it.
Yeah, El Yolo could definitely just force their own fight here as fast as they possibly could. So long as they focus Mordekaiser down, just so they can get rid of the threat of Tristana dying to him and giving up that ghost, as long as they can get him down, the team fight is theirs. And, I mean, it's a very low chance that Tristana would die to Mordekaiser anyway, because she has been playing exceptionally safe. As you said, she only has that one death total. So she's been playing really safe and been playing really cautiously. But even still, things do happen. So if they can just focus down Mordekaiser and then switch on to Lucian, they can just destroy Fatty and Friends with just a thought. Just how much pure stat they have right now. Garen being huge, Ramos being huge.
Mordekaiser does have that Deathfire Grasp though, so if he does throw the full combo plus Ignite onto Trist, we could see a fully flipped team fight like we did earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he gets the damage down onto Tristana, the team fight could go in the way of Fatty and Friends. It could very possibly go in the way of Fatty and Friends. Especially since once he gets that Tristana Ghost, the amount of shielding he'll be getting out of her damage will be insane. But if they can bring him down before he gets that Ghost, it's pretty much downhill from that point. Okay, so as we are looking around here, we see, I'm kind of looking at just overall KDAs right now. The Gnar, I'm really not impressed with. It is 2-6-0 right now, but he is kind of really dying for his team. even though they haven't been getting much out of it, we are still seeing this standard fight for the Baron Vision. So, back and forth, I kind of want to see who's going to... What needs to happen is somebody needs to pick a fight before they go for this Baron.
I
But
agree.
both teams are playing so cautiously that it's a really hard thing to come by. I feel like El Yolo is scared to engage for some reason, and Fatty and Friends knows they're behind, so they don't want to engage. And it's making for this very awkward, pretty slow dance going on.
Yeah, I really don't know what to say at this point besides pick a fight somewhere. They need to do something. Otherwise, this is going to turn into a very long, very drawn out stalemate. And I don't think Fatty and Friends can actually take a long game. They're up against Malzahar, who has arguably some of the highest damage in the end, and Tristana, who has the highest AD carry damage. I mean, outside of maybe Kog'Maw.
Yeah, I want to say Tristana is ever so slightly better just because her damage isn't revolving.
Oh, the Nether Grasp is perfect.
It might have been completed here. Hold on a second, though, because Hecarim is in the middle. He's going to have to ult away, though. Teleport comes out of Garen. He is spinning his way through the team. Ult goes down onto Mordekaiser, drops him immediately, flashes forward, so Tristana can get that reset, does bring down Morgana. Another flash comes out of Robin, the taunt goes down onto Lucian. This is the fight they needed.
Oh, we're losing you. You're starting to cut out. Yikes. Okay, so right now we just lost the inner turret. Kyle, you're really cut out, man. I apologize. I just don't want to... I just don't want you to keep going without, like, because we can't hear you at all. They are going to be able to take this inhibitor, and they're going to back off. This is the perfect time for them to turn around and do Baron. Nah, it's still broken up. Jeez. Man, this is kind of annoying. They are going to do this Baron, and there's almost absolutely nothing that Fatty and Friends can do here. Oh. Uh-oh. Is this on my end? Because all of a sudden we've frozen.
Good.
I apologize, guys. We're going to try and reconnect to this. Kyle, I'm going to call you back, man, because we're still super broken up, so just 2 seconds. I apologize, guys. I don't know what's going on. We are going to load it back into the game. We're going to see how this does. Just waiting on Nami to load. We're just waiting on Mordekaiser and Nami to finish their load up, and then we should be able to jump back into the game. We're suddenly down. I don't know what is going on. Had a big crash. Suddenly lost our voice. Suddenly lost our video. We're a mess. There we go. We're back with Kyle. And it looks like the game is still freezing its video for me. Just gonna give it a second to see if it's loading in. Oh no, Kyle, you're still super broken up, man. Yikes. What is happening? Apologize, guys. I'll be, Oh! The game jumped, but nothing's happening. Oh my god. Did we just see the end of the game in under a second? I think we did.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
So that just happened. We can still barely make out Kyle. He's all broken up. And it turns out El Yolo won the game. Okay. All right then.
Right now.
Yeek. Well, so we're out of game. And that's the end of it. I think El Yolo takes the win. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Sorry guys. El Yolo took the game over Fatty and Friends. I don't know when we're going to be back. I haven't gotten any information from our coordinator. I will leave the stream on, music running, and hopefully we'll be back shortly. I'll try to keep you updated in the Twitch chat when I can.